Hey, suppose you're working and farming similar to 25 and your farm's getting bigger and now you got to get your stuff to the market. How you going to do that? Well, you're going to use one of these bad boys, a semi-truck, more than likely. And I've had some questions, which ones do I like to use? Let me jump in and show you. By the way, let me know down in the comments which ones you like if you don't see it on here, or which ones you like out of these. If you play any of the base games, you're going to run into this puppy. It's the International Transstar 2 Eagle. I like it because it's cheap and it has a little charm when it goes through the gears. It costs a base price of $45,000, has 400 horsepower, goes a whopping 49 miles an hour, and is built in 2002. The inside is old school, you can tell, because it's 20-something years old. But it's got some cool points and it sounds good. Let me show you this guy on the menu. Okay, this is it here. You can play with some different things. The sleeper cab. You can play with the wheel configurations, different stuff on the intake, sun shield, the horn, little different designs. You can change the color, of course. Now, the best thing about it is if you strip this puppy down, you can get it for $45,000 and you're in the trucking business. Now, you still got to get a trailer, but still. And the ones, I wouldn't put the largest thing in here because 400 horsepower is not really, unless it's really flat. Okay, it's not going to be enough to go up a bunch of hills with a big load. But it gets the job done. It gets you started trucking, and it's a great tractor. Let me show you what this little guy sounds like. It's pretty awesome. I like to see it going through the gears here. And there you go. And we are up to the maximum there at 49. Of course, we're behind a school bus now. But this is a pretty cool tractor. Like I say, if you're not going up steep hills with a really heavy load, 400 horsepower is adequate. It'll struggle some. I do like the manual transmission and how it goes through the gears. Pretty good tractor. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, the next one is this bad boy. It's a Mack. Everybody likes a Mack truck. The Mack Anthem 6x4. Costs $93,500 base price. Okay, it has between 425 and 505 horsepower. Now, if you're carrying a big trailer and there's a little bit of hills, I think 500 is kind of the minimum horsepower you're going to need. So this one fits the bill. It'll get you from point A to point B pretty good. It also goes a whopping 49 miles an hour. And it's built in 2020, so it's a lot more modern. I like the modern look of the inside. It's a lot smoother than the older one. And one thing I like about the Macks is you can look down, and because I'm from the States, and the speed limit is in miles per hour, not kilometers, and that's what we're used to over here in the US of A. So I like that. Let me show you on the menu real quick. Okay, this is it here. Once again, you can add a day cab, sleeper fairing, all kind of sleeper stuff you can put on there. And you can change the wheel configuration some, and you can mess with the mirrors. Not a whole lot other things you can do there. But it's a pretty good truck. Let's see what it sounds like. I love the look of the gauges there because, like I said, you can read them. And it's in miles per hour. Not many are in miles per hour. So I'm usually looking at the little Farming Simulator 25 gauge there at the bottom right instead. But I can actually look at the gauges on this truck. Okay, the stat said 49, but I'm up to 52. So that's pretty good. And there you go. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Okay, check out this puppy. This is a Volvo FH electric. Okay, now it doesn't have the cool sound that the other ones do, but it's smooth as silk. And it has a lot of horsepower. The base price there is going to run you $145,000, but it goes up to from 450 all the way up to 666 horsepower. That's pretty cool. Let's look at the inside there. Look at that. It's very modern. It is a 2022 model truck. Very contemporary on the inside. I do like the gauges, but they are not in miles per hour. We'll see that here in just a second. Let's look at the menu real quick. Okay, that's it here. Like I say, it comes with 450 horsepower. You can change the roof a little bit. You can go from 450 to 666. Look how much heavier the front end gets. Now, I did have an issue with this on one of the maps. When I went to 666, I would scrape a little on a hill going in and out of some of the driveways. So just like a real truck, I guess. You can play with the wheel configurations, some more aero parts, and some mirrors and stuff. And you can change the color. But this is a great truck, and it's very smooth. All right, let's see what it rides like. And you can tell it's in kilometers per hour. It's pretty smooth. And with 660 horsepower, it gets up pretty good. Let's see how fast we can go here in miles per hour. Okay, we're wound up there at 56 miles an hour. Not too bad, not too bad. Right across this railroad track. Check out the shocks. Boom. All right, not bad, not bad. Smooth ride. All right, so this is a great truck. You will have to charge it with electricity, so you can put one of those chargers on your farm. Other than that, it's good to go. All right, let's check out the next one. Okay, check out this puppy as far as Mack truck goes. This is an oldie, but a goodie. It's circa 1966. So if you like to do old vintage stuff, I was just looking at some old tractors the other day. This is a pretty cool truck. Since it's old, it's only going to cost you $79,000. Okay, that's the base price. It does have 500 horsepower, though. It goes 49, and it's from, like I said, 1966. Check out the inside of this puppy. It looks vintage. And it is. Got your manual windows. Now the gauges are in miles per hour because it's a Mack, which is cool. They're a little small and hard to see, but they're there. Let me show you on the menu. Okay, now this is the Mack R. It is a mod, and it's going to cost $79,000. They got a few different designs you can do. I like the American-looking thing there. That's really cool if you're from the United States. Not a whole lot you can change, but a few little small things, and it's going to be around 79, 80 grand. So it's a pretty good truck for the money. Okay, you're trying to get started. This might be a good move up from the Transstar because it's only 80 grand. And it does have 500 horsepower, so that's, like I said, my minimum for getting up and down hills with a load. That's pretty good. All right, let's try this puppy out. It is a manual. I like when they go through the gears. The handling is a little wallowy compared to some of the newer ones, which is to be expected. Hey, it's an old truck. I don't know if I can get up to speed. Somebody's blocking my road here. Well, I'm up to 52. There you go. That's my max speed already. So accelerated pretty quickly with 500 horsepower. So, like I say, this will carry a pretty good load. 500 horsepower is not a bad number. It's enough to, struggle a little on a hill with a load, but it will make it and be fine. So that's it. That's a pretty good one. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, check out this other Volvo. This one is not electric. It's diesel. And I like it because it has the potential to have a lot of horsepower. It costs $137,000, but the horsepower ranges from 600. So it comes standard with 600 horsepower. So that's more than enough to go up and down hills with a heavy load. And you can bump that up all the way up to 780 horsepower. So that is cool. So this one is pretty stout. And look at that. It's modern on the inside. Of course, it's a Volvo, so it's not in miles per hour. But it's still got a lot of cool points. Everything's lit up nicely. This is from 2012. Let me look at the menu real quick. Okay, that's it here. There's all kind of things you can do to the configuration. Like I say, the engine goes from 600 to 700 to 780 horsepower. You can change your wheel setup. That's pretty cool. Some of the aero parts and some mirrors and mud flaps. And that's it. Somewhere between $137,000 and $190,000. Not a bad truck. Let's see what this sounds like. Pretty smooth. All right, here we go. We are accelerating. And we are up to 56 miles an hour just that quick. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. This is a great truck. Nice and smooth. Oh, man, we almost hit a train. All right, let's take a look at the next one before I get my myself. By the way, I'm going to put up some data on these trucks here in a minute. Now we're into the Mercedes-Benz pack. This is a Mercedes-Benz Arocs, and it does rock. Pretty cool truck. It's $113,000 base price, and it only comes with 326 horsepower, so it starts out a little underpowered, but you can bump that up in increments all the way up to 625. So I like it for that reason. It has a wide range of horsepower. You can get in with the truck, and when you get some more money, you can upgrade it. Has a very nice interior. Look at that. It is in kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. Who doesn't like Mercedes-Benz? Look at that. I always wanted one. Very nice. Let's take a look at the menu. Okay, there's several Mercedes-Benz trucks. I got the first one here just because it's the cheapest. And it has 326 horsepower. It can go to 428, 455, 510, 530, all the way up to 625. And at 625, you're looking at $175,000. You can play with some of the wheel setups like the other ones, different things there, whatever your personal preference is, and sun shields and horns and bumpers and different things. But that gets you an idea. Let's see what it sounds like. This was pretty cool. I like the Mercedes-Benz stuff. And it handles pretty good too. Alright, hopefully I don't get hit. I don't run into the train again. Alright, we are up to 56 miles an hour, just that quick. See how it does on this tracks. Oh, good shocks. Alright, and there we go. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, check out this green monster, the Heizotruck. That's German for a hazmat. Okay, the Heizomat is hazmat. So this thing was designed to carry some crazy stuff, I guess. The reason I like it so much, though, look at these tires. Okay, look at these tires. Those are nice. Those are very nice. It's not your regular street tires. So if you're doing forestry and you're on some logging roads, or you're doing some maps in Brazil with that red mud clay down there when it rains, this is a great solution for that. Let's look at the inside. Once again, it's Mercedes, very much like the other one. Very nice modern truck. Now this one's not cheap. Let me show you on the menu. Okay, it's $275,000. There's not a whole lot of options there to get, and it comes standard with 530 horsepower, and it's circa 2013. So the horsepower is not changeable. It has a top speed of 55 miles an hour. So like it sits there, I'm at $277,000, which is not cheap. So once your farm has arrived though, and you need something with some grip like this, and I'm going to show you a cheaper alternative here next. But I love this truck. I'm playing a map in Brazil right now, and I'm using this thing on those muddy roads, and it works great. Because I tried another one and I was getting stuck. 530 is adequate to get you from point A to point B, even with some hills and a good load. So not a bad truck. I'm up to 56 miles an hour already. Here we go. Oh, we made it. All right, and that's it. That's a pretty good truck. Let's take a look at the cheaper alternative, the next one. Okay, if you like the tires on that Mercedes and want a cheaper alternative, you might like this little guy. It's the MAN TGS18. It is a mod, but look at these tires. It's got some meaty tires with grip too, and that's why I like it. So it's great for the same things, you know, forestry roads or those roads down in Brazil. Check this out. And it's pretty nice looking truck. Pretty nice looking truck. Nice looking inside. I like the MAN trucks. In Farming Simulator 22, I used to play with that, get that MAN water truck, milk truck all the time. It was so smooth. Okay, this is it here. You can play with the horsepower. It goes from 400 all the way up to 540 horsepower, which is a good range. I like that. 540 horsepower is plenty adequate enough to plow through some mud with a load. So that works pretty good. And there you're looking at a couple $100,000. Still cheaper than the Mercedes though. Still cheaper than the Mercedes. But it's a nice truck. Okay, nice truck. Once again, you can change the wheel setup like you can on some of the others. Look, it's even got wider tires. That's cool. Well, let's see what this puppy sounds like. Pretty smooth, pretty smooth. It is in kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. The only one that's in miles per hour, I think, is the Mack. One of the reasons I like those. If there's another one, let me know, because I think that's the only one I know of. Okay, we're up to 55 miles an hour. Pretty smooth. A little bit bouncier than some of the others. The Mercedes is got a better suspension, I think. But it's a good truck here, certainly for the money. All right, let's take a look at the granddaddy, the next one, number 9. If you want to haul some heavy loads, this is the truck for you. And it sounds awesome. Look at this puppy. It's the Lizard Roadrunner Plus. Okay, it's been around a while. I've been driving it on some other maps. In fact, it was in Farming Simulator 22. And I used to carry that big 100,000 liter milk tank there. And one of the things, you got different views. Look at this. So if you had a trailer on there, that's one of your trailer views, and another one, and then the inside view, which is kind of cool. Now this thing, the base price is $142,000, and that's going to get you 790 horsepower. However, you can bump this puppy up to 1,800 horsepower. Let's look at the menu. Okay, this is it here. You can see the little Roadrunner symbol there on it. That's cool. Look at the engine. 790 horsepower to start at 142,000. So that's a bargain. It is a 2010 truck, 2010. But look at that top speed, 99 miles an hour. Okay, and you can bump the power up. The first one's a manual. You got a power shift. You got 950 horsepower manual, then an automatic. And then you got an 1,800 horsepower manual and automatic. And the configuration I have, I think, is a 950 horsepower. Let's check this puppy out. I love the sound of it. It's definitely got a good, and it has compression braking when you let off on the gas. All right, here we go. Remember, it's got a 99 mile an hour top speed, so it's a little slower getting up to speed with the 950 horsepower. Maybe I should have tried the 1,800. But I'm at 72 right now on this road. Listen to that compression braking. That's just cool. That's just cool. So this is a cool truck. All right, that's it. That's my 9 best trucks that I like to have in Farming Simulator 25. Share this with your farming buddies. Let me put some data up here just so you can see what's going on there. Like I say, there's 9 trucks. The International Transstar, the Mack Anthem 6x4, Volvo FH electric, the Volvo FH16, the Mercedes-Benz Arocs, that's part of the DLC, Mercedes-Benz pack. Mercedes-Benz Heizomat, that's part of the DLC also. The Mack R mod, that's a mod. The MAN TGS 18 and the Lizard Roadrunner Plus. That's my 9 top trucks. Share this with your farming buddies. I'll see you on the next go-round. Bye-bye.